Hi friends, in this course we are going to be covering the modeling, analysis, and as well as design of this pedestrian walkway, after which we will produce a detailed drawing. You are welcome to this course. In this course we will be using two kinds of analysis. We'll be considering static analysis and as well as finite element analysis. So I will be bringing up the working file from AutoCAD. So if I should bring that up, this is how the working file look like. The pedestrian walkway is across an expressway, just like this. Okay, just like this, and these are the dimensions successfully. Okay, so this is what we are going to be exporting to Protastructure so as to start the modeling aspect of this successfully. And also, for the complete presentation drawing of this pedestrian walkway, we are going to cover that successfully in this course. If I should go back to AutoCAD, so this is how the presentation drawing is going to look like. This is the columns, foundations layout of the structure, just like this. This is the footing details, and these are the columns details, reinforced details. All right, I have three type of columns in terms of height. All right, the shortest column, the short column, and this slender column. All right, and so in this slender column happen to fall at the middle of the highway. That is why if you check right away, I am having the layers of the pavement, road pavement, just like this. Okay, these are sections of this. So all of this is what we are going to be covering in this course. All right, this is the slab. The trestle slab can see 21 by 20. All right, spanning within that directions. All right, top and bottom. You can see. So we'll be learning how to do all of this in this lesson, in this course rather. And so you are welcome to this course. Stay connected as we go into the main course for. Hello friends, you are welcome once again. As stated in the introductory listing, we are going to be modeling these two ways pedestrian walkway. We will analyze it, design it, and as well produce drawings of this two ways pedestrian walkway. So right away, let us get started. Here we have the AutoCAD setout drawing for the two ways pedestrian walkway. So if I should zoom closely, you can see the dimensions. Okay, so this is the roadway. So the pedestrian walkway is going to cut across this express roadway. All right, and this is the total length, the width, the distance between each of the rest provisions. Okay, so this is how it is being set out on the road. Okay, so what I did is I copy all of this. I have to take it to the origin, okay, of the XY coordinate system, so that by the time we export it to Protastructure, it is going to take this location. All right, so just for you to copy all of this and take it here. So we are going to save it in DSF file. Okay, once again, you can take note of the dimensioning. All right, okay, so in this direction, this is also the dimension. All right, so over here, we want to export this to Protastructure. So what we need to do is When we highlight all of this, type W on the keyboard, enter. In this window, you ensure that the insertion unit is millimeter, and then you click on this 3 dotted line so as to navigate and save this file in DSF format. So you can see AutoCAD 213 DSF file. Okay, so I want to locate to the folder. It's in this folder I'm going to save it, so I'll change the name to Pedestrian file. Just like this. After which I click on the save, and then I'll click on OK. So that has been saved successfully in DXF format. So we navigate to Protastructure so we can be able to continue from there. Back to Protastructure again, I'll click on New Project. So it's going to be a pedestrian walkway too, and then I'll have to change this name, pedestrian walkway. Two ways, okay? And then click on OK. I'll use UKBS 810 import. Alright, so what I need to do is to go to my external reference drawing, these provisions, or I can pass through the file. In the drop down menu, I will navigate to the model/file import, external reference drawing. I click right there. Alright, in the reference drawing settings, I click on DSF load. So I will navigate to the folder where I have the file saved. This one, cost file. And here is the file. I'll select that. Okay. And then I'll click on open. The unit is millimeter. Click on OK. I'll come to import members right away. Exit import options. Import exist. I click check. Column import settings, import column, I click check and click on OK. I will start the model check. I have 0 error, 0 warning. I close that. And then I close this reference drawing setting. So this is what we are having, right? These are columns set out. Okay, so one thing I want to also explain to us is this, where we have to go back to AutoCAD. So I'll have that explained successfully. Alright, so here is AutoCAD. What I want to explain is you should make sure that you create layers for this grid lines. Should be layered. You can see layer grid line. Likewise, the columns should also be layers. Alright, so if this is not layer, Protastructure won't be able to read it. So make sure all of these are layers so that Protastructure can read it successfully. That's what I want to explain. So let's go back to Protastructure and continue the modeling. Alright, so we want to continue from here. What I want us to do now is to relabel the axis, okay, the grid lines. You can see the grid line is not properly labeled. So what I will do is I'll highlight all of this one in the horizontal directions. Right click, click on the property, and I'm supposed to have this X4 as A and this one X3 as B and this is C. So I'll change the A to C, use uppercase letter, and then the 4 I will change it successfully to B, okay, sorry, to A, right, and then the x3, I'll change it to B. Then x1 is going to be D. X2 is going to be E. Just like this. I click on closed to effect the change. You can see. So in the vertical directions, I've already gotten this as 1. This is supposed to be 2, 3, 4, and so on. So I'll highlight all of that, right click, and then click on the property so as to change that. So the Y9 is supposed to be 2, alright. Y8, sorry, Y4 supposed to be 3, and then Y3 supposed to be 4, alright. Y1 supposed to be 5. Okay, Y2 6, and Y5 7, Y6 8, Y7 9, and Y8 10. Just like this. Okay, after which click on closed to have this. So I've set and arranged the grid line successfully. We want to be setting the stories. Alright, so for us to set the stories successfully, I'll navigate to the story right there, right click, and then come to insert stories. Okay, these provisions, click right there. So the number of stories I already considering is 4 stories. Click on OK and yes. Alright, I'll navigate to the story 1 right away, and then I'll go back to where I have story, right click, and then click on edit stories. In these provisions you can see all the stories. It's 3 meter, but I want to be having story 1 to be 500, story 2 to be 1500, story 3 to be 1500 or 1500, and then story 4 I'll have it to be 1 meter, just like this. My foundation depth is going to be 1.2. Alright, so after I must have this in place, I click on OK to have that. Alright, the next thing I will be looking at is the diameter of this. You can see the diameter is 400, meaning the radius is 200. Okay, so after saving that successfully, we proceed in the next lesson. Alright, so we want to be generating our model to other stories. So this first, all of these middle columns, we are generating it up to level 3. While this one, we will generate it to level 2, and as well this one. Then this one will be at level 1. That's what we'll be doing right away. So first of all, we will need to highlight the middle columns. Just get this middle columns highlighted just like this, and then go to building, setout, select generate story. So we are generating it from story 1 to story 3. So just select the story 3 right away and click on OK. That has been generated successfully. You can see the process completed. Click on closed. Alright, go back to story 1 again, double click right away. Select the columns on grid line 3 and 4. Hold the control key. Select the column also on grid line 7 and 8. Just like this. Go to building setout, generate story. we are taking this to story 2. So select story 2 and click on OK. Process completed. Click on closed. Alright. We want to navigate to the 3D so we can do all the necessary editing on the generated columns. Click on the story 2 plan, right click and then select 3D. So this is what you'll be having on 3D. Alright. So you can see the middle columns, you have it as story 1 and as well you have it as story 3. So what we do is we need to select all of this one as story 1, all of the column as story 1. Click on delete to delete those columns, after which you do the same thing to these other columns. Select all of that, click on delete. Alright, also delete from this other way, click on delete. Okay, so having this like this, what we want to do now is to extend these columns to story 1. Extend these ones also to story 1. So I will navigate to story 3. Alright, and then I'll select all of these columns. Right click on the property. In the property dialog, you can see these provisions here. We have line story. I'll click right there and I'll select edit. Then I'll type 2 right away and click on OK. So you can see the changes. The columns has been moved from story 3 to 2. So if I make this line story 3, it will move down to story 1. Cancel this. Click on these provisions. And type 3 right there. Click on OK. So it has moved to story 1. So it is more or less this column. Okay, so I can highlight all of this one as well. Alright. After we right click and then click on the property. In the property dialog, I will navigate to, you just have to navigate to this line story. Select it right there and click on edit. Input 2 on the keyboard. Click on OK to get those columns sent down to story 1. So click on closed. Alright, so you can see this is what I'm having right away. So having gotten all of this, what I need to do is for us to now create column drops. We're going to create column drops, and for us to do that effectively, we just have to select one of these columns and then we right click on the property. We navigate to the drops right away and then insert drop. So the width of the drops we are going to have, we are supposed to have 400. But 400 is the diameter of the columns. Alright, so what we need to do now is we need to change the diameter of the columns from 400 to 350, or it depends on your spec. You can also use 400, but if you seem to see these columns as to be too big, you can't be able to change that. So let us change the column diameter. Alright, so for us to change the column diameter successfully, what we need to do is at this story 2, we have the columns right away. So click the first column and go the shift key, select the last one so as to get all the columns on that level selected. Then right click on property. So in the property dialog, you can see the diameter of the columns right away. So select this provision and click on edit. Okay, so you give the columns a diameter of 300. Click on OK. You can see the changes. It's very effective. Click on closed. So you can see the diameter has changed successfully. So this is the diameter we are going to be using. The same thing will be applicable to story 3 columns. Alright, so you navigate to story 3, select the first one, hold the shift key and select the last columns to get all the columns at that level selected. Right click, click on the property, select B1, edit it to 300. Click on OK, just like that. Close that. Navigate also to the level 1. Alright, expand the column, select the first one, hold the shift key, select the last one, right click and click on the property. Align B1, edit, input 300 as the diameter. Okay, so after having this change done successfully, we can now proceed to creating the drop. So you just have to click on one of the columns, select the property. In the property dialog, locate drop tab, check insert column drop panel. In these provisions, we have a drop section of 400 by 400. Click the center, then the drop height is going to be 300. Alright, or we can make it 350. Click on update. So you now have a drop right away. Click on closed. Now for us to fast track this, what I want us to do is select this one, hold the control key, select this column, that one, this one, all the columns on this level. Right click and delete it first. Okay, click on this one, right click and then click on the property. So you can insert it now. It is this property you are now inserting. Alright, just like this, just to fast track the modeling, just like this. Okay, the same thing will be applicable to this side. Close this first and then select all of this column, position the model this direction, so you can select all of that columns just like that, and then be able to delete that successfully. Select one of these columns, right click, click on the property, then you can be able to insert that at ease and fast, just like that. After I must have done with that level, the same thing applicable to the next level. Close this dialog. Okay, click on this column, right click, click on the property, and then go straight away to drop, insert drop, and we will have drop of 400 by 400. Center, the drop height is 350. Update to have that. Select the rest of the column by holding down the control key and remove that. The same thing you will do here. Select all of that and remove it by deleting. Okay, so for us to now use this one to replicate other ones, you have to navigate to the story 2. So double click right there to move the grid lines to story 2. Position the structure this way, right click, click on the property, and then be able to insert it at ease. Just like this. Alright, click on closed. The same thing will be applicable to this. Select this column, right click and click on the property. In the property dialog, go straight away to drop, insert drop. Have a drop of 400, section, center, and 350. as the drop out height of depth. Close this. Select this column or the control key, select the rest of the columns just like this. Alright, and click on delete. Move the grid line to level 3. Alright, select this column, right click and then click on property, just as we have done. Be able to insert the column just like this. So we have gotten the drop for all the columns successfully. Alright, so what we are going to be doing is to place the slab. We are already on the top story. Navigate to the plan view of that story just like this. Okay, so you'll be having something of this kind. Click on save to save the project. We want to be placing the slab, so go straight away to the tab where you have slab, click on it. So we are considering slab thicknesses. It is a flat slab. We need to provide it with a reasonable thickness so as to be able to withstand the load. Alright, so we'll be having a thickness of 300. The cover is going to be 25 mm. Alright, go back to the load tab. Okay, the safe weight multiplied by the concrete cover of 24 kilonewton per cubic meter, you have this 7.2. Okay, so for the additional depth load for finishing and plastering, where we have an additional depth load of 2 kilonewton per meter square. Then for the imposed load, we are going to be considering fan tray. Okay, we may be considering fan tray for the imposed load. Sorry, fan tray is 20 kilonewton per meter square. That is quite big. Alright, it's a pedestrian walkway, so we can use a hospital ward, this one, alright, as the imposed load. So after having that selected, just click in these provisions to have the slab placed successfully. Okay, so we also have at this level slab here, there, this provision and this provision. So this is the only provisions will be having slab at level 3. Click on closed and navigate to level 2. Double click right there. So at this level 2, go back to the slab, activate that. With the same property, we will only be having slab in these provisions, this one, alright. The same thing here. Okay, click on closed and navigate to story 1. At this story 1, go back to slab, activate it. We have slab at this level, provisions, and this one only. Then for the slab we are going to be having here is going to be a cantilever slab. Okay, now we take the pedestrians to the normal ground level. So click on closed, close that dialog. Alright, activate the dialog again. Then for the cantilever slab here, we are going to click on this tab, just right click inside of this type provision and then go straight away to slab type 12. Click right there. After which we'll be looking at the width of the slab. We consider 1200. Okay, go back to load. The parapet loading, consider 5 kilonewton right away, and then click this first point, click the last point. It's not prompting. Go back to these provisions. The B slab provide 0 there. The L you have to provide 1200. Click the first point to insert that. You can see same thing applicable here. insert it just like this and like that. So we have done with the slab insertion successfully. Close this dialog. If you navigate to the 3D, but before then you just have to save the project. So navigate to the 3D and see the way the project looks. You have something like this. Okay. So we are going to stop here. So we continue in the next lesson, which is lesson number 3. See you there in the next lesson. Bye for